It's a Crypto Friday, and we're just going to kick it today. Welcome back to the channel where we build financial power. My name's Matt, and this is
Potter.
Today is a freaky weird one. Potter and I were talking before the show, and we're like, we honestly don't know 100% what we're going to talk about, but we know there's a few things in crypto out there that we want to talk about. So, Potter, how you feeling about today? What's happening?
I feel good about today because it's not 2 weeks ago where it looked like I was going to have to return to work at least part-time. You know, that was, as long as it's not then, it's better.
All right, I'll take it.
How about you? What's going on with you?
I am navigating the waters of what I see of crypto is sort of, it feels like it's a lull currently. It feels like there's not a lot happening. And then Potter and I were talking about that before the show, and she's like, that couldn't be anything further from the truth. And I was like, well, I am not in the know. So if I'm not in the know, I know there's other people out there that probably are also not in the know. So I mean, not bad in any way. It just feels like it's a
Yeah, no, and that's what's happening. Like you're hearing a lot of the, one second, I've got to adjust your volume so I can hear you just a little bit better. A lot of the analysts are saying, like, you know, there's mixed messages between are retail investors in or are they out, right? But since, you know, I would consider that you're a crypto retail investor, right? You're not in it every day. You're in. I don't think that that's right. I don't think that there are more people like you, right?
Okay.
I think the majority of true retail investors are out, right?
okay. Okay.
They're not looking at it because they're going, what's going on? They're not in DeFi, right? If you were not in DeFi, you wouldn't even really know that there's anything going on. You'd be like, what? Something's pumping, right? You would go, oh yeah, Bitcoin or Ethereum, but a DeFi project, they're still unknown, right? So what they're saying is that the inflation numbers are not as they seem. I mean, in Tampa, we have the highest inflation rate in the country.
Really?
We're the only major metropolitan city in the United States that still has double-digit inflation. Yay. Yeah. So what a lot of people, I talked about this to the Patreon group, is that you're starting to see that, you know, a little bit of wariness in the market today, for example, because people are going, I don't know if it's going to be there over the weekend. Now, that's just a bear market sentiment, right? Over a bull market sentiment, it's like, ooh, I don't want to miss out over the weekend, so let me make sure I get a higher position. But in a bear market, it's like, ooh, I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend, so let me get out of my position.
Let me get out of myself, yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Yep.
So specifically when it comes to Forex, he's made several announcements. By the way, Matt is Matt's observing because we talked about maybe because of what Matt just talked about the lull. I totally just changed topics, guys. This is what Matt has to deal with.
You're good.
He's like, we were over here, but okay, we'll now talk over here. That, you know, he feels like there is a lull. Like, talk about it, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like there is a lull in the DeFi crypto world of what I understand. Granted, I'm only in a handful of projects, but of those projects, it feels like everything's just sort of here. And, you know, granted, I guess I do have my fingers in my ears quite a bit to a lot of the FUD and a lot of the announcements. And, you know, I take that back. I have started listening and started consuming more content. There was a time where I was like, I'm done hearing all the FUD. I'm done hearing the announcements of the announcements, but I've started consuming and trying to listen a little more. But it just feels like it's here. So that's not good. That's not bad. That is, I think that's the term going through the motions. I think that's looked at as a bad term, but honestly, like going through the motions or just doing the process every day, that is I feel like those are just the steps you have to take to get to wherever you're trying to get to. So that's how I feel about where it's at. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just, it's
No, it's not a bad thing. You know, and I think especially for you, it's not a bad thing because you're in. You know what I mean? You're not going, you know, hey, what is it? Refresh. And you're allowing me to convey the numbers that I see. So when it comes to specifically, you know, chatter, yeah, it's dead.
Yeah.
But when it comes to numbers and the things that you see moving, I had 99% of the positions that, you know, I'm playing in, they were all up. Now, a year ago, it would have been like 75, you know, because I didn't know. I was just throwing darts at everything. Right. But what that shows me is that I've started to fine tune. And I can only say that because when the market went up, everything went up. Right. And I've heard that one of the ways to evaluate if you should stay in something is, even if it's a small bull run, if something didn't go up, you might want to part with it. Let that emotional tie to it go. Because if everything else went up and your thing didn't go up and they're like, oh, well, that's because of this news, history has shown that it's just not going to, you know, bounce back up. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And a lot of people be like, I'm diamond hands. It's like, don't do that.
No,
So now going back to drip, the big news in drip is, you know, we had a lot of flood attacks this week, and Forex literally came out with an integrity-based AMA. What's an integrity-based AMA?
Yeah.
That is someone just saying, here are the facts. This isn't what's proposed. This isn't something that's super fluffy. This isn't bullish. This is what is happening now. And when he did that, he also tied to himself with an integrity-based company called Chainlink. Chainlink is not about to put their reputation on the line for a no-name DeFi project, right? They're not even going to allow you to tag to it because they would be brought up in any kind of frivolous lawsuit as well. So to put away the cries that, you know, it's a scam, that kind of thing puts that to a hush. On top of that, I don't know if you guys remember a few videos back, I was saying something's up because REAP token is going up. Right? And what do you know? Right after REAP token goes up, all of a sudden a week later, our stuff starts going up because they were in the DAO. So to me, that's news. You know, that's stuff that's going on. There's all kinds of innovations in programming as well, specifically with the drip architecture. There's a pigs farm game that's going to be free to play. If you want to buy extra stuff, that'll be in there. So that's using a drip ecosystem. So you've got integrity-based concepts and factual data, partnerships that aren't like, oh, we have a deal. You know, we saw an advertisement yesterday where Chainlink was literally in the advertisement, right? You have, you know, I just said the applications, and you have a buzz that is pushing it back to where it should be, right? So you have pigs that are going up. You have garden that is going up. You have drip that is going up. And the buy pressure on all of them is sending them all higher. And there's a story behind what's doing it. And we've had a guest that showed us what Reservoir does. So everything's starting to run. And we're supposed to get a launch date this month. So knowing our life with this platform, it'll probably be August 31st.
Yeah.
I don't expect that he will not launch in September, right? Which is crazy.
Why do you say that?
Because you don't want to like have your code sit that long, you know. You want to push it out. You have marketing campaigns that are going to kick off that are expecting and demand a solid launch date, not like the this launch that we saw. you know. So do you have questions or anything?
No, what I'm looking for is like you said, you didn't want the code to sit there that long because
For a month.
Because like there's a potential safety issue, somebody could hack it or something, or
the idea to go, let's just change this one little thing, and that pushes everything back.
Gotcha.
Right? Because you made that one little change, and all of a sudden you see, well, that broke that. That broke that. I'm not comfortable with launch. We have to push back launch. We have to re-audit. Right? You don't want it sitting around. Right? And so that's just me. Launch things on an enterprise level for Fortune 100 companies. Like you launch. You don't hold it back.
Yeah.
Once you get the momentum, you keep going. But I am not as comfortable being an architect of a DeFi project as I am with a corporate project.
Yeah. I would imagine. No, I would imagine not. There's certain standards and guidelines that you have to hit. That's why DeFi is the wild, wild west. It can push it back. So
yeah. Another thing that's starting to happen is, we always talk about the Binance Smart Chain, but a lot of blockchains are starting to take off. When I posted on LinkedIn once about how I think that when you go into your house one day, if you go to buy a new house, they're going to say, okay, we see that you bought X appliances. Which blockchain did you want those to connect to? It's starting to get to that point. So do you want your dishwashers and refrigerator to be on the same as your banking blockchain, or will you be separating that? We do have several packages that we can offer that help split that up, as well as multi-sig, so that if you just want to set up something for your children, it will be both up to you and your husband to sign that. It's like,
So I want to go into that a little bit, because that's a very interesting thing to think about for the future of putting your appliances on the blockchain. That's crazy. I mean, it makes sense. I've heard of similar things of that, smart contracts for the house, all that. But like,
well, let me help you then.
Like where my head goes as a consumer, like what would be the benefit if I put that dishwasher on this one as compared to this one? And I know it's not maybe not contextual yet, but as a coder, what could be that benefit of, I'm going to do this instead of this?
Yeah, well, let's say, whoa, we got our first, not good. It's
all good. It's all good. We'll take it.
Let's Florida it up.
Okay.
News announcement: Publix has come out with their own blockchain and has struck a deal with Samsung refrigerators.
Okay.
Right? Samsung takes on all of the responsibility for the accuracy of reporting what's in that refrigerator. Right? To say that I guarantee that what was placed in this refrigerator cannot be changed.
Oh, I thought you meant like the mayonnaise that was in it. I was like, what are you talking about?
That person, or can we?
The more attention you put to it, the more attention they get. Keep going.
Got it. Well, here's the ignore. See it. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. So, where was I?
What they put in it, the fridge itself.
Yeah, like a Samsung or a Whirlpool. Let's say because that data is what's important. If I have data, if I'm Publix and I say we have Whirlpool, Samsung data that shows you what products are being delivered, how long they're staying in the refrigerator, how long before they're being thrown out, how long before they're being used, how much is in there, half, most of it. That's data that I'm not going to just trust for anybody who works for a company to give me. I can go to a blockchain where that is integrity-based data that I can count on it. I know it's not been fudged.
Now, do you mean, the things that are going in the fridge, do you mean like the mayonnaise that they put in there, or like the actual gears and motor? Really?
No, it could be the gears and motors. It can be the eggs.
So interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Keep going.
So think about it. Okay, when you go, smart refrigerators are going to be, as it is. Some refrigerators, you go up to them now and you just tap on them, it shows you what's inside.
Right.
Right. So if you can see, okay, the eggs are, I don't have to open the refrigerator to know there's only 3 eggs left. Right. I can report that kind of data for one family. Who cares? That data doesn't mean anything. But to watch the behavior of millions of people,
Yeah, that's so interesting. So let me
people
address
haven't
this.
started thinking there yet.
That's so interesting. Like, that is so friggin' interesting to me. So I think this, and I know someone else would think this. Wait a minute. As a consumer, I'm uncomfortable with Samsung or whoever knowing how many eggs I have in my fridge or that I have orange juice or whatever. Like, it feels like an invasion of privacy. I know someone would say that.
Mm-hmm.
Expound your view on it.
That it's going to be normal. I think that it's going to get to the condition of, if you don't have a blockchain associated with your appliance, you're not considered the person with the iPhone home.
Understood.
Right? Is it going to be for, lower income? No. Right?
Okay.
This is something innovative. But then when you start looking at it from a company level, you went at the consumer level, you move it into business, and you start looking at that supply chain. You start looking into medical devices. Let's say, somebody's saying that they're using Pfizer medication, and the insurance companies always saying, no, you aren't. You're using the generic. How can they prove it? Well, if that device was hooked up to a blockchain, that's how I can prove it.
So what you just said in the refrigerator, that example, sort of giving a view into like what the future will be of things being so interconnected. I'm having to close my eyes to sort of visualize everything here. Mm-hmm. But the way you just put that, like having the ALAX. I don't want to say it without saying it because I'm going to trigger somebody.
Right. Right.
Having that being so interconnected, your smartwatch, your phone, your fridge, you can tap and look on your phone to see what's in your fridge, like having everything so interconnected and all that data being sent to companies, like it will just be the way of the future. That is how it's going to be. I think, like, it sounds like there's going to be a group of people that just go off into the woods, go off the grid, and don't want to be a part of that. While it can be unbelievably efficient, beneficial, make things cheaper, data is much more available. It seems like it could increase and decrease security of, like, let's just say I have an allergy to oranges, so orange juice is never in the fridge. Somebody could use that as a risk, but at the same time, I guess you could encrypt that. That blows my skull away to think of that level of interconnectivity, all because of the blockchain. That's right. Trippy.
Yeah, think about it, a whole building, an apartment building on a blockchain, right?
Jesus.
So that they can start getting data that shows, okay, when the sun is on that side of the building, people not only run their air conditioners here, they also open their refrigerators less, and they tend to go to this product more. Right? All of it is anonymized because it's just, it's just an address. But yeah, I believe that these things are going to be compulsory because they will end up helping with health. Mm-hmm, right. Mm-hmm. But if you add a health component, well, that moves it from retail. Right. So when I brought up the medical device, that would be something that would be audited on medical devices to say, okay, certain medical blockchains are approved. Mm-hmm. Because we build tools that specifically talk to the blockchain, that get us specific data that helps us with supply chain as well as any research data. And because it's on the blockchain, you remove that middleman of, oh, I'm a person who collects all that data, and then you hear in the news about someone not doing something right.
That is you're kind of blowing my skull away right now. I've never thought that deep into. Oh man! So
yeah. Right, so now, good.
Go ahead. No, so go ahead.
Drip. Let's go to drip. Right.
Okay.
Drip could eventually be its own sidechain, right? Where drip is like BNB. Yeah.
Wait. Are you saying that drip could be its own actual blockchain? So instead of being on BNB, drip could be the actual block.
Yeah, it could be a sidechain, or he might do it with AFP. You don't know. But what's starting to happen already is people are using the drip ecosystem as an economy. People are making apps that are showing you how to read it, and they're saying, hey, give me 0.01 BNB. Some people are up to 0.1 BNB now.
Yeah.
You have a pigs game coming out.
What's an AFP though?
AFP?
Yeah.
Animal Farm Pigs.
Oh, got it. My bad.
No, that was on me.
Got it.
You asked that question.
So I gotta go back to this. What you just did is you took all right, we used to trade sheep and goats in a barter system, and then it went to a form of money, then it was coins, and it was cash, and then we turned it into a debit card, and then now it's completely digital. And just how that evolution has gone. People were fearful, I would imagine, I don't know, I wasn't around then, but I would imagine they were fearful to go from that barter system to an IOU.
Yeah.
From the coin.
I didn't think about that. Great point.
From the coin to the worthless piece of paper, or I guess it was a piece of paper, and then off the gold standard, it was a worthless piece of paper. And then now it's just a card itself. And now it's just digital completely. And my generation, I'm completely okay with everything being on here, just paying through here. My mom, she hasn't had a debit card all of her life, and it's free for her. You know, like my grandfather, who I never met, he didn't trust the rotary phone. So me saying, I don't know about that, that's a safety thing in the fridge. It's the same thing, but it's
good one.
It's so interesting to look into that type of future and everything being interconnected. That's really interesting what you just said. See, and I think that's the type of thing that's constantly in your brain that you see of innovation. While I'm over here, I'm like, it looks like a lull to me. I don't really know. I mean, see some numbers ticking. That's about it. That is so friggin' interesting.
Well, maybe that's what we'll just start talking about it. You know,
I like that a lot.
So tied to, any one thing, because guys, we're kind of growing up with you, right? We had this idea. We know that we don't want to go. Okay, if we go mainstream, it's happened because we just got popular, but we're not looking to do that. We are looking to document how we got here.
Yes.
Right? And it's happening. And what you're doing is you're seeing us evolve. You're seeing the show evolve. And so maybe that is something that we try, you know?
Maybe it is that we, ultimately, like this channel still gaining that financial power, but the innovation side, the things that of course I don't see, like one thing we haven't talked about is the cold storage wallet thing. That's so friggin' smart. And I think when you see those different types of innovations, and we're not just saying Drip is doing this, or there's, I think that might, I like that. I love how we're working this shit out on camera right now.
Hey, guys, you're seeing it with us. And you know what, we can work that through. Oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. No, that wouldn't work. I was thinking of a technology that we could use, but no, we'll stick with this. Never mind.
Well, that is precisely what this channel is about. We're here to build financial power, but in that process, we're documenting our own process. If you don't know, if you're new to this show, Potter reached out to me back in December of 2021. Like, we got to do something. We can do something. I believe it. And I do believe in the absolute technology of crypto. I know with every bit of me, it's not going anywhere. This blockchain thing it's the way of the future. Potter knows much more than me, and she's a seasoned pro, and I'm still learning, but documenting this process, that's the goal. We want to bring that to you. And that side of building financial power, we want that underlying theme. This turned out to be pretty friggin' good to not have any sort of plan.
It's you and me, Matt Lane Fitness.
That was good. That was good stuff.
We get together, we just make the good shows happen because it's genuinely interesting stuff, and we both actually care about it. If you got that interest, you got some people actually like each other and get along. I think that's why you guys come back, our faithful 20. Actually it's coming up, but just happy. By the way, I thought of something, Matt, and I did this with my other Twitter. Do not like, subscribe, or follow. If you like the content, like it. If you don't, it's okay.
If we bring you value and you want to see more of us, click it. If not, it's all good.
It's all good. Hey, There's lots of good people out there,
Nice.
and they're here more than we are. But I think that we bring a unique style based on what both of us have to offer from the non-technical side, questioning the technical side, as well as the technical side asking, is that clear enough?
Right.
Or is it still like, look like an equation? And those are two important components that everybody just overlooks.
Yeah,
geeks will be geeks and cool people will be cool people, and that's the way it's looked at. But in blockchain, I think they can be conflated.
I like it. I would ask you if you have anything in closing, but that was kind of perfect to close out. I mean,
there you go.
Builders, keep building.
Keep on.